just like bench because we don't play anymore, but we used to play.
It's like when you were that one guy on the side of the field, like, man, if I was in right now, that shit would be happening.
100%. Are we not those guys? Aren't you guys the same guys that tell me every Sunday, if that was me, if that was me, I would have. It doesn't happen.
One time. Give me one chance on the field. I'm telling you, touchdown every time.
So that's why we're calling it Bench Sports. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of Bench Sports. I am one of your hosts, Adrian or Sugar, and next to me is David or the Crusader. And we know it's mid-season, week 12 in the NFL. However, we have been talking sports between you and I think, all year. And so we thought, why not record it? We have a blast. And also, David and my other friends are the type of people who watch sports and tell me that they could do it if they were on the field. And so we're thinking of the name Bench Sports potentially.
Before we do anything else, we should talk about our credentials. Why should they listen to the things that we say? What gives us the edge?
Well, first of all, I was drafted the same draft class as Aaron Donald. I just want to say that very much. You know what I mean? When I was playing football, listen, if I played football today, I'd be in the NFL. However, I am too short, and so I didn't get to play E1. But why should they listen to us? The same reason why they listen to everybody else. Because we love football. We love to gamble. Also, check my bank statements.
And that's what I was going to say. And the record talks for itself.
The record talks for itself. Yes, my account's negative. However, am I not going to take a loan out to gamble?
All time. My stat sheet shows that I know about the game.
I know.
I know the game.
A shit ton. So that's why you guys should listen to us. Plus, we like to have fun. And hopefully, we'll see how this goes. This is starting off pretty hot. It's good. All right, week 12, though, David. So my name is Adrian. Of course, this is David. And, of course, you guys should listen to us. And hopefully you enjoy this week's episode because we love sports. And we're going to talk mainly football this week, but who knows what we divert into. Thinking of the name Bench Sports. Who knows? So to kick off this week's episode, though, David, talk to me about Thursday Night Football. How did it go in your? We already talked about we gamble on DraftKings. Shout out DraftKings, sponsor of my bank account being negative. Hopefully soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking my money. But tell me how to go for you, because I know how it went for me, but let the people know how it went for you. How'd you see the game go?
So DraftKings is like the opposite of direct deposit. Let me say that right now. I get paid every 2 weeks. The direct deposit hits, and then it goes straight to DraftKings. So let me borrow a couple hundred. I'm like, okay.
Sir.
As long as you give it back to me eventually, and they will pay me back eventually. I know that. Just not right now. So last night's game was great. I mean, Thursday was just one of those games again where it's an amazing defense versus a stellar offense, and the Texans showed defense wins championships, and I loved watching it. Obviously, love Josh Allen coming off of a historic fucking game. 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. The issue is when they have games like that, everyone's like, oh my God, I'm going to bet the next game he's going to do the same thing. If he got 3 last week, he'll surely get at least 1. So then you look at the probability with the betting stats. Bills, 97% of the fan base is betting on them. Texans, 3% of the fan base is betting on them. And I should have known in that moment. Vegas little script writers was like, okay, got 97% on the Bills. They're not winning the game. So, I mean, I covered the Texans, or I picked the Texans to cover. I picked the under. Both of those hit.
Right, but
my mistake.
We
parlayed them. The mistake was parlaying them. And the mistake was also picking under 24.5 for the first half.
Me and David usually ride with David's parlays, and David has the better winning streak, I would say, out of both of us this year. Has definitely earned the most this year. Right before the 2-minute warning, the Bills score a touchdown.
Off a return, bro. Off of a return. And the 4th of the season.
killed the whole parlay, and everything else pretty much on our parlay pretty much hit except for Josh Allen touchdowns as well.
Yeah.
It was tough, but
That's another thing
Go
too.
ahead though. Tell me why that was tough.
It's tough to watch because like you can't do anything about it. You're obviously sitting there like waiting for the flag to come out. Like, come on, ref! Like there was holding. There had to be something.
Right.
The game just continues, and it's just like, and it's also in Houston, so it was very quiet when they scored that touchdown.
Yes, it
So you're
was.
experiencing the same thing as a home fans in that moment. Like, did that actually just happen? And sure enough, they got us again. That's agreed though. I could have done a 2-pick, but I'm not doing no $5 to 15. We're not here for that.
Of course not. We're here to potentially double, maybe triple. And so
20,
sometimes
10.
listen, we used to do a ladder thing. That's a whole thing. We'll get into that later in the episode. All right, yeah, it's Thursday Night Football for me. I had a 3-pick parlay touchdown. You guys can follow me on Twitter, but I usually post my parlays. And yesterday I was texting David, and I was like, I got free bonus bets, and so I was like, 4 parlays. Surely one has to hit, and we went 0 for 4. My takeaways from the game was the Texans are legit. Texans are a quarterback away from a Super Bowl. That necessarily, I don't even mean that CJ Stroud is not the quarterback. I don't mean that CJ Stroud is not the quarterback. What I necessarily mean is their offense is hindering the success of the season. And it's kind of the opposite of the Eagles. When we look at the Eagles have an elite defense, yes. However, the Houston Texans have the number 1 ranked defense. But the Eagles have A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. And as much as like you want to debate the Jalen Hurts drama right now, he's still winning. And most franchises, I'll tell you right now, will take that versus whatever the complaints are right now, justified or not. So with that, you see the Texans kind of bouncing into that form, but also Jalen Hurts has more experience in the NFL. You know what I mean? So like he can squeeze out those tight wins. Where CJ Stroud's 3rd year in the league, I mean, he's made the playoffs both years. What else could you want from a quarterback in the franchise? Like he's a 3rd year guy, and he got injured. But yeah, he's not playing the best. Yeah, his team has changed. They changed his offensive coordinator. There's a whole lot of changes going on. He lost Stephon Diggs. On top of that, Joe Mixon hasn't ran the ball all season. Like, what are we talking about? So there is that. I see that correlation personally with the Texans and the Eagles, where they both have really good defenses. It's just one offense is already in fruition versus the other because they know each other. They have the same players. They have returning players. The Texans don't have. They have Nico Collins, C.J. Stroud, and they saw. Woody Marks popping off, good for the rookie.
He popped off last night.
Nick Chubb obviously isn't the same Nick Chubb as we've seen before, but he's still carrying the rock, and so it's more difficult. And also, they trade their star left tackle to the Commanders. So a lot of that thing. This is why we say this. All this to say is, I understand why they're 6-5, and not 8-2, 8-3, 7-4. Like they're on a 3-game winning streak right now with their backup quarterback, and he missed all. And I watched that game. He went 16 for 30 was the stat. That he went 16 for 30 for $153 and 2 tuds. Like it wasn't impressive, of course not, but it got the win. Now throw CJ Stroud in there, hopefully healthy, hopefully comfortable in the pocket, making those reads and adjustments, and we have a whole different team.
Yeah. I mean, the possessions were long too for the Texans. At one point, the Texans, and we were talking about this yesterday, 3 stops in a row, 3 big stops on the Bills, shut the Bills down. Again, prolific offense shutdown. And if they could just see those stops converted into, like field goals obviously are fine, like getting points on the board is great. But imagine just getting like if 2 or 3 of those, 2 out of 3 were touchdowns. The game's over. The only reason the Bills were even close to that game was that the return. If that return never happened, it would have been blowout.
Yeah, and then in the second half, it was literally field goal for field goal. That was it.
Exactly.
That was it. Wasn't much to that. So, Wrapping that up though, concerns coming out of that game. Any concerns coming out of that game for you personally?
Mhm. I mean, the concerns are the same for the Texans. Like they need to put some more points on the board. It's been the same script for a majority of the year. Even listening to the commentators yesterday, they're talking about the coaches talked about it too. Like we have to convert these red zone trips, like the trips down to the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
If you have such a stellar defense, I think the reason why the Broncos are on a 9 game win streak now,
Yeah,
maybe 10 game win streak.
yeah,
Yeah,
8 to 9 or six,
8 to 9.
seven. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I heard that like 1,000 times. Like back, they got me back. But yeah, it's just like a team like that is so successful because they're converting.
Yeah,
Bo Nix is he's a toss up. Some games he's incredible. Other games he throws for 10 yards.
you beat the
But
Chiefs
they're
though.
putting beat the Chiefs. Not only beat them, they spanked the Chiefs.
Yeah, they did. They did. That was a good game.
Patrick Mahomes looked bewildered out there. He didn't know what was going on. He would turn and they're like he's having nightmares about the fucking getting sacked again and again and again. Mr. Scramble. Same thing with Josh Allen, though. That
Yeah,
first half
yeah.
when he went down and was holding his left arm, I was like,
Eight
they're coming
sacks.
after you all game. 8 sacks.
8 sacks.
They're coming after you all game.
Mm. Did you
That's
see
all it
that?
takes.
Did you see? Sorry to cut you off there, but did you see? Were you
You get,
worried about that arm? That it was also it was his throwing hand.
I think it was his
It
throwing
was
hand.
his throwing hand. Did your heart drop a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see like one of the best quarterbacks fucking go down. Like if it were Patrick Mahomes, I'd be like, let's go.
Okay, so since we're doing this for the first time, I want people to know what we think. Who are the best quarterbacks, right? So where would you rank
Mhm.
Josh Allen amongst the quarterbacks in the league?
I would say
And considering last night's game as well.
that's tough. Considering last night's game makes it very difficult because I would say top three.
Yeah.
But then last night's game was like it's also tough because like if he has no one to throw it to,
Mm.
of course he's gonna get sacked because he's
Yeah.
trying to find someone. Oh, took 3 seconds.
Yeah, and it's
Here
not
comes
like
Donald.
he has some jabronis on the offensive line. He has Dion Dawkins at left tackle. That guy's a beast. I mean, I'm a big fan. For people who are watching again for the first time, obviously I play defensive line and offensive line for football. And Dion Dawkins is one of the best left tackles in the game currently. So it doesn't have a. It's not like he has a weak offensive line. And obviously James Cook runs the ball through that line. That can't happen without the motion of pushing. And so, yeah, that was definitely rough. Okay, sorry to cut you off. Continue your take.
Very good. I think it's sad. Yeah, top three. I'll probably put him at number two. Number one, you can't argue who the number one quarterback is in
Of
the
course,
NFL.
of
Yeah,
course.
I mean
Okay,
he's
so
so
then
consistent.
you're taking in legacy into all this consideration, and I agree with you. However, let's
hmm
talk about just this season. Are you worried about
Mm.
Josh Allen?
I'm worried about the Bills in general this season.
Okay,
I
that's
think
fair.
that this is a team that everyone assumed would be at least making it to the playoffs towards the final round of the playoffs, potentially even make it to Super Bowl again. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that you can make it to Super Bowl without receivers. Like the best teams in the league, number one team in the league, according to the general consensus, the Rams. You have an incredible quarterback and you have incredible receivers. Someone to throw the ball to. Yeah, there they are. Always ready. Always watching. But I mean, this season I wouldn't put him in top three. Then I think that he might be in top five. But when you have people like Drake May who are staying consistent, and it's so funny because like people are like, well, the Patriots haven't played a good team yet. Just wait till they play a good team. They played the Bucks and they held it down.
By the Bills, and
Played the
that
Bills,
the first win on their belt that really started this Patriots season.
held it down.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about you? How are you feeling about the Bills?
My concern is mainly on defense, to say
Hmm.
the least. Of um, what it would be like when that defense has now no shade to the Texans, but the Texans are with Davis Mills, and he missed some throws. But if you watch back that game and he hit those throws, it's a blowout.
It's a blowout.
It's a blow, and not by the Bills, and not by the Bills. And so for me, that is the biggest concern. Where sure, Josh Allen, having to score points is always a concern for when your defense is holding an offense to just 23 and you need 4 to win. Yeah, you're talking about Josh Allen. But if
Hmm.
Josh Allen plays an accurate Tua Tunga Bailoa, who is CTE just disappeared for the week. And then he just starts dicing up the Bills defense, and the Dolphins poo-poo all over the Bills because they couldn't get anything going on offense, and their defense couldn't stop anybody.
Exactly.
That's my biggest concern, because we're seeing the offense struggle, yes, this week. But it's not just the offense. You're right. It's definitely the Bills in general. It's not just a Josh Allen thing. I feel like it's unfair to throw the weight on the quarterback. We know that the media and most people, and all it is, it's a quarterback-driven league, and the quarterback rises and falls. The team rises and falls with the quarterback. That is true. But when the quarterback only has one arm, and he has to get rid of it so many times, and especially now in the league too, where we see a lot more blocked passes. How many defensive linemen do you see, hands up? How many more
almost interception
and field goals getting blocked as well? So it's not just, offensively trying to get it to receivers who get open. It's also trying to throw the ball in those tight windows. And we see those struggles, like you mentioned, Bo Nix for a little bit here. But Bo Nix as well has that accuracy problem currently right now. JJ McCarthy has that problem currently right now, and so does Caleb Williams. Like you just see them throwing air balls, and Josh Allen has had that issue before in the beginning of his rookie career, where he would throw a lot of interceptions and just wing it and just whip it. Peyton Manning, most interceptions in a rookie year. There's all these stats for why this isn't necessary. Accuracy is a very important component of football for quarterbacks. However, I think that in the NFL, and again, I might be wrong for saying this, I don't play football now. I just watch it. But to me, I am 27 years old, born 1998. I watched all the great quarterbacks that we talk about now. I'm not talking about Joe Montana, Steve Young, Joe Namath. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about, I watched Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I watched Drew Brees. I watched Aaron Rodgers. I watched Matthew Stafford in real time go, my shoulder, touchdown. I saw that on TV as a kid, okay? And I'm sorry, because the NFL is much more of a pass-happy league. It is more difficult. Why? Because to stop the run, you need two big defensive tackles. However, a lot of the defensive line positions now, a lot of the positions now have slimmed down. Why? Because of speed. Speed is important in this league. And with the speed the cost of speed comes with something though. So we see a lot of hamstring injuries, a lot of leg injuries, a lot of people getting injured because their ankles or whatever, because they're dicing it up on the field. And now you're just not fast. You're fast and strong. Look at Aaron Donald. He was fast and strong. Look at Will Anderson. Look at Danielle Hunter. Look at Micah freaking Parsons. How many quarterbacks do you see with Micah Parsons? Quarterbacks running away thinking they're not going to get sacked. And Micah Parsons from behind them on the opposite side of the field gets there and gets the sack. So I think it's definitely a harder league. The league is definitely more difficult now than it is before, because I think it is more complex now than it is before. You got defenses lining up in different sets, and then once the ball snaps, they switch into the real coverage. It's difficult. People have changed the game to make it more difficult. And so with that is my concern going for the Bills into later this season, because the Colts are good. There's a lot more better teams this year. There's a lot of people say the parity NFL is being shown. They were like, I think this season is really any given Sunday for any team.
It feels like that every game. It feels like, there are teams that are favored to win, but we've seen so many times those teams that are underdogs, like the Dolphins versus the Bills. Everyone was certain the Bills were going to win that game. And then we're just reminded at the end of the day, both teams are guys that are professionals. It doesn't matter who's favored to win. Once they line up, who's going to smack who? Who's going to get up? And those are the only things that matter.
Hold on. Before we move on from that, I think the Bills play next week. They play the Steelers. They have to win that game. That's another AFC game. Big thing to look forward in that game. My biggest note from these games is a lot of teams need to stop losing in their conference. A lot of AFC teams losing to AFC teams, like the Bills right now. They only play AFC teams except for the Eagles for the rest of the year. So they really, really need to get those wins going into the later half of the season. But
looking at here.
All right, so we got Pittsburgh at Chicago, 1 p.m. over on CBS. Chicago's our favorite. I'm looking up on hold on, the ESPN bets has it as -2.5 favored for back in Chicago. I feel it. What do you have for that game at Chicago?
Without even thinking about it, as soon as I saw this point coverage or the spread, I picked the Bears to cover the 2.5.
Easy.
The Bears have won, easily 2 in a row now. Obviously, they beat the Vikings. That wasn't that big of a win. Like, I know it meant a lot for them in their division and also just for them in general. But the Vikings have been so bad for so many games, bro. They cannot win at home. It doesn't make sense. I think they've lost 4 at home in a row now. Imagine being a fan, paying money to go watch your team play,
Bears,
and they're getting smacked by the Bears.
I mean, but the Bears look good, though. The Bears look good.
They do look great. They look great. I've listened to a couple of the mic'd up moments this year. They had one for the Bears two weeks ago. And I was like, he was legit. He's gonna run for 30 yards. He's gonna throw for 300, and that's fine. That's all I can ask for from a quarterback.
Yeah, it was great to watch 2 weeks ago for sure.
Yeah. So I picked the Bears right away. The Steelers, I don't know. I never know how to feel about them because they are also a team that's just like 1 week they lose to a scrubby team, and the next week they destroy a good team.
Yeah,
it's just too back and forth. I think the Bears playing at home have a slight edge here, and that edge is going to be that 2.5 points.
I am going to ask you some questions before I make my pick, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
For people who don't know, the Steelers were one of David's teams. David doesn't have an NFL team. This is David's first year, I would say. I got him hooked. I like to call myself a trendsetter. And I've also cost him money. But, hobbies.
I'm down 1,000.
What right. The Steelers
Everybody has hobbies.
Okay, the Steelers were in contention of being, all this to say, the Steelers were the contention of being your team, correct?
Right, correct. That's true.
So why are you picking against them? That's my question. You love the defense. You told me you're a defensive guy. Is it last night the Texans secured themselves in the spot in your heart as the team?
They did. The Texans secured their spot in my heart because they held it down when they needed it to. Okay. The Steelers are not like that. I think it's funny because the Steelers like one of those teams that just when they played the Colts, for example, I loved it. It was so great to watch.
It was fun.
You take Superman, Daniel Jones, and they rip him out of the sky.
Okay.
Well, I'm just just comparing. Like he's not that. I'll give him like fucking.
Yeah. But he was feeling like Superman. He was feeling like Superman.
Exactly. He was feeling like Superman, and all of a sudden he gets hit by 260, 6'5" dude multiple times. He's okay.
Get shit on.
Maybe I'm not gonna say exactly.
Yeah.
So watching a game like that, you want to root for the Steelers because if they're not going to score a lot of points, at least they're going to like make these guys that seem invincible come like crumbling down from the mountain.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Speaking of, I think you're right. I think the Steelers, however, for me, I am going to also go with Chicago just because I am a Caleb Williams fan. I love rooting for rookie quarterbacks. I've always rooting for rookie quarterbacks, especially ones taking number 1 overall, because they have so much pressure that's so unfair and so like, usually, I don't want to say unwarranted, but like, bro, you turning like one person changing a franchise is very rare. Usually a franchise has a good core, and when you bring someone into that franchise, then they can turn it around because the core is good. And so I usually hate the notion of like he's the first overall pick. He has to change the franchise where it's like what frustrates me too is they only say that when it's a quarterback, but when it's a running back or a defensive person taking first overall, they never say he's changing the franchise. But usually they can as well take a look at JJ Watt, what he did for the Texans before CJ Stroud got there, and Deshaun Watson in his prime. But all that, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Either way, that is to say that the Steelers have to win this game, but I don't think they are. I think if Aaron Rodgers plays, he'll probably be more scared in the pocket than he did look this past week and the weeks prior, where there was a concern and question about, hey, is he scared to get hit? Because it looks like it. And you can't deny that because it does look like he is scared to get hit. Um, and that's not a good look for Steelers. The Steelers, a tough team. Your quarterback is like ducking and dodging from staying in the pocket and delivering a dime of a throw. So for that, I am definitely concerned, especially it being at Chicago. Not really worried about the weather. Pittsburgh is a PA. Growing up in PA, those Steeler boys are definitely tough. Over under 45 and a half. Could be a high scoring game, could be a low scoring
Yeah,
game.
I
But
don't like either one.
yeah, I kind of like the Chicago minus 2.5. Easy against that defense. And also the Ravens are creeping up on the Steelers. So I don't know. It is kind of a gotta win game for the Steelers. But it's also like if the Bears win this one, they will feel good for the rest of their season and will definitely make playoffs. So it's a kind of gotta win for both teams. But I'm going
I think that
Chicago.
and if Chicago wins, they're the number one in their seat or in their division, aren't they? Not
Yeah.
division, but
No, and
yeah,
they're currently number one in the NFC North, and if they win, it will just solidify their run and their position in
who would have thought it?
going into week 12, which is great. All right, next game I got for you going into week 12 is
One more thing I was going to say
Go ahead.
before you move on. Sorry, Caleb Williams is also a trendsetter. He introduced, and this is why he has even more pressure. He introduced the what's it called, the nail painting to NFL. So
Yeah.
everyone's watching him even closer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think people? Do you think? I'm
yeah,
curious. People are probably so mad about that, dude. It's like
yeah.
he painted his nails. Yeah, he diced up your team with those painted nails. Doesn't that suck? Like, doesn't that suck? Dude, like, think about it. Like, the Giants, oh, the New York, we're such a tough, badass state. I'm born in New York, brother. I'm with it. You don't fuck with me. Hey, but you see something, say something. But you dice me up with, like, painted nails. Like, what? Sit the fuck down. Sit
They
the fuck
can't. They
down.
can't get him.
Trendsetter for sure. And Ben Johnson has a lot of faith in him. So, rooting for you, Caleb. Good luck this week. New England at Cincinnati. New England favored minus 6.5 over under 15. 1 o'clock CBS again at Cincinnati. Keynote for this game: Joe Burrow potentially playing, and also speed is going to be the king of the jungle, as they say in Cincinnati for this game. Thoughts going in?
Thoughts going in. If Joe Burrow plays, what a game it'll be. If he doesn't, and Mr. Flacco is still a quarterback helm, I mean, him and Rogers both just have those CTE flashbacks when they get hit a little bit too hard. You see them laying down for just a second longer to catch their breath when they get sacked. And no discredit to the people that are tackling them, but I see a hate in their eyes when they tackle these old quarterbacks as if they're trying to get them off the field, which is understandable. You want the bets gone, I get it. But yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting game. The fact that they're favored to win only by 6.5, the Patriots here, 9-2 record, number one in their division against the 3-7 Bengals.
Yeah,
only 6 points. That's all they're going to win by.
Well, on DraftKings, it's 7 points.
Okay. I have 6.5 on those sportbook.
Yeah, ESPN bet is 6.5, but on DraftKings, I'm currently seeing it -7. I kind of see the aspect of New England beating the fuck out of the Bengals just because the Bengals defense is trash.
Yeah.
So whether Joe Burrow plays or not, he's not playing on defense. So I think the Patriots are gonna win. Jesus Christ. The Patriots are gonna win. However, I would take the money line, not the spread. If I take the spread, I would do -14.
So they win by at least 2 touchdowns.
I think the Patriots are gonna run over. Like, it's not even just the defense. If we look at the Bengals as a whole, when have they upgraded their offensive line ever? And that defense is no joke. And it's not like, and again, no shade to Joe Burrow. I've seen Joe Burrow play in person against Lamar Jackson on Sunday Night Football. He is amazing. He is legit. He is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play on TV. when he plays, but it's just not their year, man. And it sucks because you say that often when it comes to Joe Burrow, that it's just not his year. But it's true. Like, I don't think he has. We talked about Josh Allen supporting cast and what Josh Allen can do when, 6 touchdowns for 6 runs for 6. But then we see the reality of what happens when you play a good defense. It doesn't matter who you are. When you're off and the rest of your supporting cast can't score, or when your defense can't stop the other team. And if we saw Josh Allen lose to the Texans, again, Texas #1 ranked defense, I understand that, but the Patriots' defense is no joke either. I think the Patriots run over the Cincinnati in this one.
Yeah, I'm right with you on that one. I always forget the fact that the Bengals defense is a high school defense, and that's more than enough for the Patriots probably to win by 50.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are definitely running this over. Throwing a prop bet in there, put in my guy Henderson, rookie running back, for a touchdown, and possibly Drake May.
Add it to my card.
Add it to my card. Ready to roll. Shout out Stu Feiner. Any else on that game? Anything else you want to? I mean, Drake May looks great. Obviously, MVP, candidate of the year in his second year is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. We're not trying to not gas up the Patriots, but I think this game is getting big hype up just because Joe Burrow is coming back. Don't get me wrong. We love Joe Cool here. But the Patriots is the Patriots, and it's not Joe Burrow playing defense. So tough game.
Just to give you some insight into how badly the Patriots should win this game.
Okay.
Drake May plus 250 passing yards is minus 140. Plus 2 throwing touchdowns, minus 175. Like, these things are not only scripted to happen, they will happen.
Vegas knows. But we also had Josh Allen for 1 touchdown yesterday, minus 200. 1 passing touchdown yesterday, and it didn't hit. So take that with a grain of salt. That's all I say. Don't hit us up talking about you told us this and it didn't happen. And we lost money too.
I don't say that for us either.
Yeah, we don't think we bet these. What are you talking about? All right, going into our third game, Detroit Lions against the New York Giants. Obviously, Lions are favored. Minus 12.5 is crazy. Over under 50.5 at Ford Field in Detroit, 1 p.m. on Fox. Can I start this one if you don't mind? I'm gonna hop in here.
Please. I'm very curious what you're thinking.
I am a Rams fan for, I can't even tell you how long at this point, longer than Aaron Donald's career. I've been a Rams fan when Aaron Donald got drafted to the Rams, and I've seen Jared Goff play his entire career. I was a Rams fan when we had freaking Jeff Fisher, who, if y'all don't know who that is, good. And I've seen Jared Goff play a lot. And Jared Goff, after a bad game, usually balls out. And what I mean by that is, after getting spanked by the Eagles and not getting a 4th down conversion 5 times, I think the Lions are going to run all over this Giants team to build up, because they need to build that confidence, especially, we just said, Bears #1 in the NFC North. Packers aren't looking good either. However, if you lose this game, what does that say about the rest of your schedule?
Yeah, you open the window a little bit for the Packers to sneak in.
Yeah, and I don't know who's playing on New York side, Jackson Dart or Jameis Winston. Rich Eisen show, I watch his show daily. He suggested that they sit Jackson Dart for the rest of the year, which I kind of agree. There's no reason to. Get him on Twitch with Cam Scatterboo, drinking shoeies, and they'll be ready to go next year. I love that defensive line. I love that defensive line in New York, though. Shout out Brian Burns. Shout out Aldu Carter. Shout out Dexter Lawrence and Thibodeau on the other side as well. I love that defensive line. I love that team. As someone born in New York, watching New York Giants. Not a New York Giants fan, because my first game watching the Giants played is when the Eagles stomped on the Giants logo, and it was kind of like, how can you support the Giants after that? But yeah, I think the Lions are gonna run all over this team. I think minus 12.5 is fair. I don't think that is a crazy spread. It is a lot of points, but again, as I said in the beginning of this episode, any given Sunday, you never know.
True. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I picked the Lions to cover the spread. I also picked the under. I think the Lions will score 49 points and the Giants will score 0.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That's fair. What's the team total points on that one?
Team total points, 31.5.
Whoa.
They'll probably score 31.
Whoa. I definitely take the over on that. I take the under on the game and definitely the over on team total points. That's crazy though. 30 I don't know. That's
Unders,
unders have been hitting.
Unders have, again, I think the Lions can score, but the way I see it is that, let's say the Lions go up 21-0. They're running the ball for the rest of the game, just milking the clock. The Giants won't have a chance to score.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston throws with his eyes closed half the time.
Yeah.
It's concerning.
Yeah, definitely concerned. 30.5. So you're taking the under and the Lions. I'm taking the Lions as well. I'll hop in on that under, and I'll also throw in a prop for Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. Easy. I'll even do. How about this? I'll do Sonic and Knuckles TD parlay on that one. If you know, you know.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Ass and cheeks week 1. Okay, Minnesota at Green Bay. 1 o'clock again. Green Bay favorite -6.5. JJ McCarthy is saying he's going to get better, saying there's some things that he has to learn, saying that in college he was coached a different way and taught a different way, and the NFL is different. Going into the press conference from last week's game where he had a bunch of inaccurate throws. Takeaways from this game, going in over under 41.5, Mr. Crusader.
Yeah, this game is interesting because the Vikings, of course, have one of the best receivers in the league for the last 30 years. This is someone that doesn't even watch the game. This is my first time watching NFL. But I know Justin Jefferson is like feared by teams. They triple cover that man to make sure he doesn't get the ball.
Yeah.
And you see the frustration. It's very similar to what A.J. Brown is showing, but the difference is that Jefferson shows it a lot more on the field.
Yeah.
You see J.J. Throw a pass to him. Body language shows. He shows he's getting frustrated. Put the ball near his hands and he'll catch it 99% of the time. But that's not happening. So for me, I have the Packers here. I have the Packers -6. It is a must-win game for them. I think the Vikings they're deflated. They're not going to be able to bring it back. Obviously, I don't want to see anyone not succeed. I want to see JJ succeed, especially being a younger quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's just a little bit scared. He plays a little bit scared. He's in his head a little bit too much. He has not. I feel like he hasn't entered the flow state this year.
Yeah.
That needs to happen for him. It might not happen this year at all. Maybe it'll happen next year. Either way, I think that he senses that he's messing up a lot. He sees it on his teammate's face, and that's enough for him to kind of like question himself a little bit, kind of like not have that confidence that he needs to have as a quarterback.
I agree. I think the pressure, a lot of people in the media have been saying this week that the pressure of, going to a team, being drafted to a team, like when you're drafted necessarily to a team that was in the playoffs last year, and many people thought we're going to make a deep run into the playoffs and should win a Super Bowl, and you go get drafted there, and it's not even remotely close to the 2 years prior of the Vikings history where they were literally double-digit win teams both seasons and very much looked promising going into the postseason. And yeah, I think JJ, you're right. JJ hasn't entered that flow state. I think the pressure maybe has gotten to him. Maybe the pressure of the team has gotten to him. Not necessarily the pressure he had before, right? Because I think when you get drafted overall, you kind of like, when you get drafted, you want to prove yourself. So there's that pressure, sure. Then you get injured your first year, so you can't prove nothing. And then you play your second year as your real first year. And that proves nothing because then you get injured again. And now when it's 2 years now, sorry, 3 years ago, I forgot let me know, because last year Sam Darnold played and they were in the playoffs. Yeah. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. And then you have that going on top of the fact that the team now, I feel like, is showing the pressure, the disappointment, versus like maybe it was behind closed curtains, maybe just in practice, maybe in the locker room. But now the frustration is visibly on camera during the game where you're just sitting there going like, this is not good for the Vikings. And for JJ, because like you said, we root for JJ. Big fan. It sucks to see what he's going through. And you're right, Justin Jefferson has a wide catch radius. The fact that you can even hit him is very concerning going against the Lions and that defense getting healthy. Going against the Packers and that defense getting healthier and healthier. I think we have Rashawn Gary coming back for that game, which is a great defensive tackle. I've been watching him when I was playing football in high school because he was a highly recruited defensive tackle in his prime. Not in his prime, but during high school. And so excited to see him play. That Minnesota offensive line also is a bit concerning as well. People don't talk about that. Aaron Jones. Not Aaron Jones. Who's the running back for the fucking Vikings? Is it Aaron Jones?
Yeah, Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones. Not running the ball well. And that I don't think that necessarily has much to do with him. More so the offensive line struggling this year. So I agree with you. I think the Packers are going to win. -6 though, I will not take because I don't trust I don't trust Jordan Love. We talk about JJ McCarthy and all that, but also there's another quarterback that I don't trust, and that is Jordan Love.
Yeah. Beginning of the season, I picked him on, or put him on a ticket to throw for 250 yards, and he threw for 270. I was like, this guy's legit. Next game, he had 80 yards.
Yep.
I said, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Never going on a ticket again.
It's definitely wishy-washy, and you hate to see that, especially like him being considered a vet in this league. If you play for 3 or more years, you're definitely a vet. The NFL average is 3 years. So if you play for 3 or more years, you're a vet. He's signed a big contract already. They have Micah Parsons. It's kind of the same question with Josh Allen, who is he throwing to type of situation. However, if you put Josh Allen in the Packers, I think the Packers would be undefeated. So it's kind of like, do you really feel for Jordan Love at all? I don't really know. Can you say those wide receivers aren't good? I don't really know. Is it just the quarterback that makes it seem like there's not a number 1 wide receiver? Can we talk about that, people? I don't know if people want to talk about that. They talk about how Jalen Hurts can't get the ball to his number 1 wide receiver. And Josh Allen doesn't have any number 1 wide receivers. Do the Packers have multiple number 1 wide receivers that just can't get the ball thrown to them? Who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying it's a question out there. Over under 41.5. I don't know if I said that, but I would definitely take the under on that game for sure. Both quarterbacks inaccurate and are inconsistent. I'm taking the under.
That's gonna be a boring game.
Yeah, that right there. Listen, unless you're a fan of the Packers or the Vikings, I would skip that 1 o'clock altogether. We'll watch it though. Scott Hansen throws it up for us on NFL Red Zone. Next game going to 1 o'clock. We have Seattle at Tennessee. Seattle favored -13.5 over under 40.5.
I think this is the game we don't even have to talk about. I think that when they made this schedule, they were like, the Seahawks and Rams are going to play each other. Whichever team loses needs a tune-up game after it just to get their confidence back.
Right.
And this is that tune-up game for the Seahawks. The Seahawks just need one of those games just to, like, a team to shit on, like the Titans, so that they can, like, stay within, like, because now the Rams being in number 1 in the conference or in the division, the Seahawks want to at least try to keep up with them, and this is their chance to do that, and they will. They're going to win this game. They'll be 8-3. They'll still be 1 or 2 games behind the Rams max, and the Titans will be 1-10. And that'll be it. It'll be one of those games that you don't even tune into. The score will be 38-0 at the half, and then we just continue by your day.
I agree with David. I think this game is an absolute blowout. If you want to secure the bag, I'm looking at the ticket prices here. Tickets as low as $20 at Tennessee. So that tells you all you really need to know how that game is going to go. $20 a ticket. That's tough.
The hot props are all 10 of them something for the Seahawks.
See, DraftKings knows what's up. That gives you a good general idea of what the sports books usually people are thinking. I would say not what they know, but what people are thinking. And people think this game is going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are also kind of hesitant to bet on this game because they're like, oh, it's just another one of those traps where they're going to like the Miami Bills game. It was a trap.
Right.
The Bills would win, so everyone bet on the Bills, and then they lost all their money. I think this is different, though. I think this is like the Patriots Jet game where you can be sure that the outcome will be what you expect it to be. And I think that the outcome will be the Seahawks winning by a lot.
Speaking of doubling your money, talk about the Colts being a AFC contender for the Super Bowl this year. Ranked number 2 number two in the conference.
Oh, number 1 actually in the conference. Sorry.
Oh, forgive me. Number 1, is that accurate? We'll fact check. Fact check will come up here, but I think you're right. Number 1, right? You have to be right.
Well, at least number 1 in the AFC South. I don't know about the conference.
Oh no, you gotta do conference standings. For number 3. All right.
Okay, great. I just threw a number out there.
It's hey, first week, bro. Forgive us. We're trying to get our shit right. You know what I mean? Colts are number 3 in the division. There was a poll about the Colts earlier this year that a lot of fans were not happy going into the season, thinking they were going to win, thinking they had a chance to win or any chance to win this year. And now they play the Chiefs this week with a chance to potentially just eliminate the Chiefs for the season. No one's going to watch them after this. The Colts will be considered legit after this. There will be so much talk if the Colts win and the Chiefs lose. But there'll also be so much talk if the Chiefs win and the Colts lose.
Mm-hmm.
This is my game of the week. This is my game of the week. I'm very excited for this game. I have a lot to say about this game. But before I go, I'll give the mic to you.
Yeah, I'll keep it short because I want to hear everything you have to say. It is a big game for both teams, obviously. The Colts have a chance to solidify themselves as legit, and the Chiefs have a chance to at least not go out swinging. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Because they ain't winning the division. They ain't winning nothing this year. I don't think they're going to see the playoffs. We'll see about that. Either way, Patrick got smacked around last week by the Broncos to a point of it almost became hard to watch.
Yeah.
You talk about a guy who has never missed the playoffs since his first year in NFL, if I'm not mistaken, who is now 5-5, like a 500 record on the season.
Yeah.
Going against a team that is legit. It's funny that the Colts are the underdogs here. I don't know why they're the underdogs. I think the Colts should be the favorite to win this game.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not say the line. Yeah, you're right. Chiefs are favored -3.5.
-3.5, the favorite to win. So, yes, they're playing in KC. KC does play well at home. But the Colts just their run game is obviously Jonathan Taylor is unstoppable against even the best run defense. It doesn't matter who they play. He goes absolutely. He had one bad game this year, I think.
Yeah.
He's had multiple games this year where he's had 2 or more touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's a scoring machine. The Chiefs, on the other hand, they have shown that if you put a decent defense in front of them, they're not going to show up. Travis Kelce has missed a couple steps. Rashee Rice obviously came back and was just tearing it up for a little bit. But then Patrick Mahomes, again, he has that CTE moment. He gets hit one too many times, and he's like looking around like he's not sure where he's at. You tell me what you're thinking. You said you have a lot to say about this game. I'm curious what you're thinking.
Well, one of my favorite notions, one of my favorite insights, and one of our insiders that you will never know who this is, but that we were watching a game a couple weeks ago together, and this person, when we watched this game with somebody, one of our friends, great friend, I would say, she is fantastic for what she was saying because the Chiefs were playing the Bills, and I think the Bills also won that game. And we were kind of rooting for the Chiefs in that game. And she was like, the whole game, like, there he goes, dancing in that little pocket. He loves dancing in that pocket. He loves dancing.
He sure does. Doing the salsa just gets sex.
And she kept saying it because Patrick Mahomes kept dancing in that pocket, man. Stop dancing and throw the ball. God dang. Now. It was just, well, you got something to say?
I was just saying, as a receiver, you're looking back to your quarterback to throw it to you, and he's doing a twirl in the air. You're like, I can't do
that man is hitting a cha-cha slide to the left now, y'all. Like, what are you doing? Throw the ball. Playing Just Dance for it on the football field. Okay. So the reason why this is my game of the week is because of everything I said prior. This is a big game. David mentioned it. Patrick Mahomes does not look good when when he plays against solid defense. Remember the freaking Buccaneers and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? How'd that go when Todd Bowles was just blitzing Patrick Mahomes nonstop and that offense could never get going? You stop that offense from getting going. You stop the Chiefs from winning. And I say that this year because I only say that this year, this season, you can say that because that defense is not the same, man. You can't count on Chris Jones stopping the run alone. That's not fair. I'm sorry, that's just not fair to Chris Jones to try to stop the run alone. You have, who else are the other guys in there? There's another guy, I think his number is like 55. He's in the 50s. And he's like another player on the Chiefs that I see get a lot of tackles for losses, maybe some, potentially some sacks. But that's the only other guy I see putting pressure on that offensive line. And now also, who are your pass rushers? Like, you don't have no pass rushers that put pressure on the quarterback unless you blitz. So then now you take a guy outside of the coverage, or you bring in an extra linebacker instead of an extra DB, or you make a DB blitz, which opens up the field for potentially wide receiver to get open. And the Colts don't have a receiver like, they have a receiving core. They traded away a receiver because they had enough. They're like, yeah, we don't need Mitchell. We have Pittman, we have Pierce, and we have Downs, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, and they also have Tyler Warren. And I'm not even talking about Jonathan Taylor yet. Because what's going to happen in this game is, what people don't realize is, yes, Jonathan Taylor should be the MVP of this league, 1,000%. He has held the Colts offense on his back. But when you need to throw the ball and catch the ball, you got some dudes. Daniel Jones, sure, he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not a top 15 quarterback. Unlike comparative to this season, he's probably a top 10 this season, but overall, we wouldn't put him near the top 10 or the top 5 or top 15 conversation, because so many quarterbacks have one good season and then do bad. That's Daniel Jones. He had that one good season, got paid, and then got released, and now he's having another good season. So I understand the concern, because we saw it last week with Sam Darnold against the Rams, that Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts and throwing picks. But the Chiefs defense isn't going to make Daniel Jones see ghosts. I think the Falcons defense was more difficult than the Chiefs defense they played in Germany this past before their bye. I think the Falcons defense is a way harder defense than the Chiefs defense they're going to play against. And they took that game to overtime and won. So I think the Chiefs need help defensively. Of course, we can talk about Xavier Worthy, Rashid Rice, and all those guys not being the guy. But that doesn't matter when you have Patrick Mahomes. Look at Tom Brady winning. Yeah, he had Rob Gronkowski, Julio Edelman, Randy Moss. But that wasn't all the time. That wasn't every season. That was one-offs. And also sometimes you see the Patriots play, and it wasn't those guys making plays. It wasn't sometimes those guys winning the game. Sometimes the defense would win the game for you. Hello, Seattle Patriots. Russell Wilson throws a pick. Tom Brady didn't win that game. The defense won that Super Bowl. So in this sense, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have, I don't care, the offense will get there with Patrick Mahomes, but that offensive line needs help. That defense needs help in Kansas City. And I think the Colts are going to win this game. Plus 3.5. Take it plus 7. Because I think Patrick Mahomes, back against the wall, yeah, he can pull out a win. But when he has people to help him pull him out on the other side of the ball, and that's just not there this year.
But I mean, it's the same thing as a Broncos game. Everyone knows Patrick Mahomes can have a game-winning drive. He had that last drive against the Broncos, and they absolutely shut him down. I don't think he got past the 30.
Yeah, we saw it last night with Josh Allen too. Like, these quarterbacks can make plays to win the game in the fourth quarter, and when they have time, and they've had time.
2 picks.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned it too. The receiver core for the Colts is solid. It's good. The Chiefs have a receiving core too, but they also have the best receivers we match up against who?
Sauce Gardner. Yeah. You're right. So they're going to take Rashid Rice out of the game. Damn, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
The Chiefs can score some points. They're going to move it up and down the field, but the Colts, I think, are just going to do whatever they want against that defense. And Daniel Jones has shown that if he has time in the pocket, he's going to make big throws every single time.
All right. We're going to go Ravens-Jets here. Ravens favored 13.5. Another big spread game. Justin Fields benched. Thoughts? Yeah. Thoughts on this one?
Long time coming, let's say that for sure. I mean, he's had good drives this season in multiple games, but just like throw the ball.
Yeah.
Just throw the ball.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, just throw it. And if you're going to do the whole like wildcat offense, let that be the actual core of the offense. Like, and again, they had that one solid drive against the Patriots where they marched it down the field with basically only run plays, and they were up 7-0 that game. And then just ran out of gas.
Yeah. Couldn't finish.
This game, though, could not finish the game. This is my game of the week, personally. This game, I think, is very important for more so the Ravens and the Jets. The Ravens are on a bit of a winning streak here. They need to win this game. They want to be top of the division. They want to prove everybody right. Everyone's saying they're going to win the division. They want to prove those people right. Lamar obviously wants to win games. I just think that 13.5 is a little disrespectful to the Jets. The Jets are 2-8. I get it. They're 2-8, sure, whatever. They're the dumpster team. Everyone can shit on them. I don't think they're the worst team in the league, though.
Whoa.
I don't see. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's just, again, for them. Let me say this: red zone defense is very solid. They have a pretty good conversion rate when it comes to red zone defense. Yeah, they're not scoring a lot of points, but the Ravens have looked kind of slow the last couple of games.
Yeah.
The Browns. Shedeur comes out. Twitter's going crazy. Everyone's ready for him, excited for him. What is he, 5 of 15? 40 yards. And I get it, he just came into the game out of nowhere. He's kind of having to like find his groove, so he'll have a chance to show it this week when they play. But yeah, I don't know, like the Ravens just could not score against the Browns. And the Browns just have a good defense, but the Jets saw what Myles Garrett did to Lamar.
Yeah.
They're going to send a couple extra guys because now they understand Lamar's not scrambling like he used to. He's a little bit slower. He misses a step, and that's all they need. If they can get to him a couple times, this game will stay close. They may not win it, but to win by 2 touchdowns, I don't see that happening at all.
That's interesting that you say that, because you are very much a defensive guy. You like defense. We talked about this. You like defense, and you think the Jets' defense is good, even though they got rid of Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. You think they can really get to Lamar Jackson? I mean, I don't think it's Lamar Jackson's issue. I think they're going to definitely have Derrick Henry running down their throats, no?
I think they definitely will, but I think it's one of those situations, again, where one team is the favorite to win on paper, but when they line up face-to-face, who's going to get smacked in the mouth and who's not?
So are you taking the Jets to cover, or are you taking the Jets' money line?
I'm taking the Jets to cover. They're not winning the game.
Okay. But you think the Jets will cover?
I think they'll cover. I think 2 touchdowns, again, it's a lot. I think here's the thing. If you think that the Ravens will win this game, this is an easy game to bet on because the Vegas thinks that the Ravens will score at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Do a 2-touchdown parlay for that game for the Ravens. Who's scoring those 2 touchdowns?
That's the thing. I don't know. I can't tell you with that team.
Mark Andrews is going to be one of them. I don't know who the other one's going to be.
Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry is probably your best bet if you would like to do a 2 TD parlay prop for that game.
Mm-hmm. No, but everyone's going to pick Derrick Henry to score, so he's not going to.
That's right, like Saquon Barkley. It's going to be Lamar Jackson. It's going to be a read zone, and he's going to pull it and run it in. Just like Justin Fields did to me when I had Breece Hall, and he kept it, even though he should have gave it to Breece Hall, but he was fast enough to score a touchdown either way. Okay, I think the Jets will cover 13.5. I don't think the Ravens have that type of offense. I mean, they almost lost to the Browns. I hear what you said about Shedeur Sanders. That's a little crazy, little shots right there. And I know you say that because you think you're the guy that if you were quarterback, you can make a bunch of throws and passes. I understand that.
I think it's easy. Like, if I'm being paid millions to throw the ball,
I completely understand that. And you have every right to believe that with your athleticism.
It'll be like that in the air. It's going towards the receiver.
How tall are you?
6'8".
Right. So it would be definitely easy for that guy. So
I'm Josh Allen, but he's bald too.
Okay, so the Ravens definitely are not going to cover this spread because they only won by a touchdown against the Browns. Now the Browns defense is really better. They have Myles Garrett, but I don't think necessarily it was the Browns that stopped the Ravens, more as the Ravens that stopped the Ravens. So at least when I watched that game back, Myles Garrett got 5 sacks. Don't get me wrong. That also shows you that Lamar can't scramble like that right now. So that is a good source. That is a good insight right there, David. Because he is definitely not running around like that. So I will ride with you with the Jets to cover. And I will take the under on this game as well. Yeah, I'll take the under on that
Under's
game.
Pretty high. Yeah, it's a good under to take. It's a pretty high.
44.5 is pretty insane. Yeah. Okay, that's David's game of the week. Interesting. Crazy how we didn't talk about this prior, and crazy how both our games were back to back. Or was yours Kansas City and I stole it from you?
No. Mine was always a Jets game. When I first I looked at it earlier this week and I saw 13.5. I was like, there's no way to think that the Ravens about to win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Against any team.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. And next, so that's it for 1 o'clock slates. 1 p.m. we usually do a money line parlay. I do at least, and I think whoever's gonna win. For us, it would be Jets, Pats, Colts, Seahawks, Packers, Bears. Jets, Colts, Seahawks, Packers, Bears. Those are our winners for the 1 o'clock slate. So let's start with Cleveland versus the Raiders. Raiders favored -4.
Yeah.
Over under 36.5. Jesus Christ. That's the only one below 40 on the sheet. Do you want to go?
It's funny. I think. Yeah, I mean, all I'll say is that it's under the under being 36.5. I think it'll still hit. I don't think either one of these teams are going to score. I love this game though for Shedeur. I think this is a great game for him to kind of build his confidence up. He's going against a terrible team in the Raiders. Raiders defense is not great. One thing I predict will happen, and I'm going to bet this. I'll probably put $10 on it. Nothing crazy. Let's not go too fancy. No. I'm going to put Myles Garrett for 4 sacks.
Whoa! Against Geno Smith, I agree.
Yeah, if you're going to get 4 sacks on Lamar.
That's interesting that you say that because it is a very much a Myles Garrett and Max Crosby kind of head-to-head. Who can get the most sacks this game would be kind of nice to watch.
Exactly. And who's getting out of the pocket or escaping more, Shedeur, Sanders, or Geno Smith?
Yeah, that's true. Shedeur did shake and bake a little bit at the end of that game there. He got out, he scrambled a little bit, but he got sacked because he was scrambling too much.
Right, he scrambled and he threw it into the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's throwing it away. At least he's throwing it away and not throwing it to the other team.
Yeah.
So for me, again, I would say, yeah, I'm excited. I think we're all excited to see Shedeur play. Shedeur has to play well. I think Shedeur, you want to fucking throw some money down and feel it in your gumption, feel it in your loins.
What crazy thing are you about to tell me to do?
We put down Shedeur 2 passing touchdowns. That is my mortal. No, it's not. But Shedeur has to throw. Yeah. Here's the way I see it. I want Shedeur to be I want Shedeur to be a starter. Not necessarily for the Cleveland Browns, but he got drafted there, so that's where we're at. But for Shedeur to take the starting job in Cleveland, he has to throw 2 passing touchdowns. It just is what it is. And so I want him to take the job. So I want him to throw 2 passing touchdowns. It's just, is it going to happen? Who knows? Also, who's catching those touchdowns? They have that beefy tight end, Njoku. Don't get me wrong. Njoku, amazing. Looks like a more fit Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington looks like is the Pittsburgh Steelers equivalent of Njoku for the freaking Browns because he can catch it. I'm excited for this. Shedeur Sanders just has to play well. Not too many picks, nothing crazy.
Right, we don't need him to play like Tom Brady well. Just play solid. Just move the ball up the field, complete short passes if you want to do short passes. We don't need you to fucking throw 50 yards per possession. Just keep it simple. Yeah. Don't throw picks. Keep your team in the game. Prove to everyone that you can do it.
That's all we want to see as fans. We're fans. I think if you're a fan of football, you're a fan of Shedeur because like Shedeur definitely brings that excitement into games, and has the potential to be one of those quarterbacks that change that franchise around, whether it be for Cleveland or somewhere else. So so who are we picking to win this game though?
I have the Browns covering +4, easy.
I will take that as well.
Yeah, I want the Raiders to win. I'd like to see them win, but I think that Geno Smith's gonna have a rough day, a real rough day.
Yeah, I think the Raiders will win by a field goal. Nothing crazy. I don't think they'll win by a touchdown. That to me is
by
one
the way.
of the.
If you
Go ahead.
So I was gonna say, if you take the 1 o'clock slate, like our picture 1 o'clock, and add in Shedeur Sanders to throw three touchdowns, $10 for 400,000.
Just so y'all know, we're trying to make it big out here.
Yeah, we're not doing that in the baby little bits.
$10 to win 400,000. What are we talking about? Because there'll be at least 2 million to 3 million people watching that game, and that'll be very interesting. And it's the first one of the first ones to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that we got Cleveland +4, and I'm taking the under. Jacksonville at Arizona. They spanked the Bills, didn't they? Who'd they spank?
They spanked the Chargers. Bad.
Bad. I will say, as someone who has Arizona in their division, the Arizona Cardinals is a good football team. They just have bad quarterback. I will say that to the death of time because every time I see the Cardinals play, and I see them play often, they look good. They just stall out on offense. And they cannot move the ball. Now, their defense isn't some... Dude, Budda Baker, bro, carries that defense on his back. Don't get it twisted. Calais Campbell, in his 18th to 28th year, I forget how many... No, he's definitely in his 20th year, something like that. Oh, he's 41, so I don't know how many years he's been playing in the league. Maybe 19, maybe 20. But Calais Campbell, also in that, as a dog, drafted by the Cardinals, still playing for the Cardinals. I've seen the Cardinals play, man. They're a good team. They even, I was watching Aaron Donald highlights a couple of days ago, just to reminisce. And, like, there were so many years the Cardinals had 10 wins. And we were, like, the second team in the division. And the Cardinals were the first one. And then even, like, that was after Russell Wilson left Seattle. So like in that time, or even when Russell Wilson was in Seattle, the Cardinals were still ahead of number one in our division for a time. So I think the Cardinals are a good team. They just have crappy quarterback play. And the opposite side, you can kind of say the same thing. Jacksonville has a good team, just crappy quarterback play. And Trevor Lawrence has gotten paid. Kyler Murray has gotten paid. So these are kind of the two quarterbacks that are like, hey, you guys been paid. Can you guys do something? And I think if Trevor Lawrence, and I think this is a bigger game for Trevor Lawrence than it is for the Cardinals because I don't know if Kyler Murray is playing or not. I would have to check on that.
No, he's out again.
So him being out again, Trevor Lawrence has to win this game, not just for the Jacksonville Jaguars season, but for his career in Jacksonville. I think if he loses this game, everyone in Jacksonville will be like, we have our head coach. We don't have our quarterback. Because before it was, we have our quarterback. We just don't have the head coach. Now it's looking like we don't have our quarterback. And we should have never gotten rid of Doug Peterson, all those head coaches they got rid of. But at least you got a good hire in Liam Cohen. And you don't want to let this guy go. So what are you going to do? We'll see. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning it -3 because they have to win it.
So, yeah, I have the opposite of you. I have the Cardinals covering +3. I think that, yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars do need to win. But like you said, the Cardinals aren't a team that are bad by any means. Against teams like the Seahawks, down 38-0 almost, they still manage to have drives where they score. They are consistently moving the ball up and down the field. Jacoby Brissett, if you want an easy bet for this game, a player prop bet, pick him to throw for more than 35 attempts. Last week he had 51. 51 pass attempts. So this is a team that's going to be down at any point to the Jaguars. They're going to continue to throw the ball. Brissett isn't an amazing quarterback by any means, but he'll put stats up. He'll make sure that the team moves up and down the field. I think Jacksonville's game against the Jaguars, not Jacksonville game against the Chargers. Sorry. The defense showed out to hold the Chargers to 3 points. That was one of the most painful games I've ever watched.
Was it 3 or 9 points? Was it 3 points?
I think it was just 3. I'm pretty sure it was just 3.
I thought it was 9. Damn.
Double check that for me. I might be wrong.
Go ahead.
If it was 3 or if it was 9, you have Justin Herbert throw for 80 yards.
Yeah.
We're talking about almost an MVP candidate. It was on the cusp of being a candidate. 80 yards. The Jaguars at one point this season beat the Chiefs as well in a crazy game.
35-6.
35-6, thank you. But beat the Chiefs. Like, the Jacksonville Jaguars are this team that, like, some way, somehow pull it out, even without a good quarterback. For more insight, the Trevor Lawrence 2 passing touchdowns plus 150.
Whoa. Whoa.
Another easy bet, and another thing to consider is that Vegas doesn't even see him throwing for 2 passing touchdowns. Like you said, the coach is good. The defense is pretty solid. It's the quarterback play now. Can he throw the ball?
Yeah, Jacksonville is ranked number 7, and the Chargers were ranked number 5, and it held them to 6 points. And so, yeah, the Cardinals aren't even on here. Oh, no, they're NFC. Cardinals are number 12 in their conference. Yeah, I hear you. You're right. You're right.
I like what you said too, like the -3 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I'm also someone that likes to pick for a team to cover plus, because I'd rather a team prove me wrong or prove everybody else wrong than another team prove me right or prove everybody else right.
And that's not gambling advice. That's just his personal.
Yeah.
That's personal. It's not gambling advice. Okay. All right. Our first one, we're going head to head against that one. I think the Jacksonville is going to smoke the fucking Cardinals, but I'm with you on that. I hear you. That is crazy for Trevor Lawrence. 2 passing touchdowns is plus 150, but that makes a lot of sense to me because that defense is really good. I think we're sleeping on that defense. Biggest game maybe in this window besides the Shedeur starting for the NFL. Now for fans, the NFL. And maybe just the NFC. And maybe just for Cowboys fans, really. But as a team that has lost to the Eagles, and I'm sick of them. Because everywhere I watch, they talk about the Eagles. But mainly the people I watch are Eagles players or Eagles fans. Shout out Jason Kelsey, Acho, Emmanuel Acho, and LaShawn Shady McCoy. But what do you think? I'll give it to you first.
This is one of those games where the Eagles have now shown 2 weeks in a row that they can milk the clock like no other team in this league.
Yeah.
They will move it up the field 10 yards at a time. The drive will end up lasting for 15 minutes if they wanted to. My initial pick for this game was the under, not the spread for either team, just straight up under. The under is 47.5. Both teams can score. Let's not get that wrong at all. But the Cowboys haven't been great at home this season. They've been pretty good, but not great. And the Eagles are, they're 8-2 right now. Like, they're just, again, I think that they win games because they just make other teams frustrated. They're like one of those teams that are just so annoying to play because they will hold it until the final second of the shot clock and then put it up and somehow make it. The Lions, for example, what was the final score? 16-9.
Yeah.
The Lions had the chances to score, but it was so few because the Eagles are holding onto the ball for 10 minutes.
Yeah, but if the Lions kick field goals in that game is way different. That game is way different.
So yeah, I don't want to pick either one of these teams here because both teams need to win. The Eagles want to solidify their position within the division, and the Cowboys every year they find a way to have a tie, 4-5-1.
He's scared, is what he's telling y'all. He's scared to bet on the Cowboys to win because he thinks the Eagles defense can stop him. And he's scared to bet on the Eagles to win because he thinks Jalen Hurts is a fraud. He won't say that, but he'll text it to me.
I will. And as soon as Jalen Hurts won a complete pass, I told you he's a fraud.
Let me tell you something. Thursday night, the Eagles versus the Giants. I have never seen so much Jalen Hurts slander on my phone in my life. And when this man was texting me that night, oh my God, it was crazy.
Last week it was the same thing.
Bro,
It's so frustrating to watch.
You are becoming a truth teller now. And I have told him to calm down.
Yeah.
But when it's blowing up to this proportion, it's definitely an issue. He's definitely not the solution. He's definitely part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback. I just think he's part of the problem, not part of the solution. If that makes sense to you guys out there, and if you guys don't know, fucking wake the fuck up. I don't think it all falls on his shoulders, but I do think that, you know, he's not helping it. Going to the media and being like, of course they're going to talk about me. Bro, it's not about you. It's about the offense. Okay?
Exactly.
We're talking about how you are affecting the offense.
Correct. You're holding it back a little bit. I think what they did to AJ Brown last week is one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
For them to throw him the ball 11 times for 40 yards, they knew exactly what they were doing. Like, okay, you want the ball so bad? Here's a 5-yard catch. Here's another 5-yard catch.
Run slants.
Here's another 5-yard catch.
Run slants.
Run some slants, buddy. You can have the ball. Talking about a guy that's 7 feet tall, 260.
You want the ball, catch the ball over the middle for 5 yards. What the fuck are you guys doing?
1-on-1, he's beating almost every corner in the league, if not beating every single one of them.
Yeah.
So what they did to him, I think, was disrespectful. I think Jalen Hurts is a petty guy. I think that as much people talk about he's good, he had that amazing Super Bowl. Yeah, he had an amazing performance in the Super Bowl. But in these games, it's hard to watch because you have multiple incredible receivers. What's his name? Devontae Smith. What do you have? One catch? One single catch, and you have Saquon Barkley. A man that's good enough to Saquon Barkley, a man good enough to have his own little documentary on Amazon. Whatever that means, you know.
Little documentary is crazy, but
little, you know what I mean by little, but
crazy.
What did Kendrick say? No, the bars go over your head no matter what I say. Either way,
this guy.
Yeah, I want Jalen Hurts to succeed. I don't want to be a hater, but when I watch games like that where you take a guy like AJ Brown that's like, I just want the ball. I just want to contribute to the team. I want to help the team. And at some point Jalen Hurts agreed with the offensive coordinator, we're gonna give him the ball since he wants it so bad, but it's gonna be for 5 yards. At any point, Jalen can go up to him and say, run this streak. Hey, you're 1-on-1, do this. Hey, you're 1-on-1, do that. There's no chemistry between the two.
Yeah, I mean, there's rumors being reported that it's not looking good between them, which is like, okay, bro, what are we talking about? Anyone who has played sports, anyone who has worked with a team, you don't get along with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get along with everybody, but guess what? They still have a job to do. I'm a bar manager. If I'm a manager at a restaurant, as I used to be back in the day, and I have a really good bartender, but I make her wash dishes. What are we talking about? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You need to put your people to succeed, and guess what? As the quarterback on the field, you were that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You were that guy. Now, I'll be honest with you. I am a Jalen Hurts fan from last year for taking down the Chiefs. But also, I was a Patrick Mahomes fan for taking down the Patriots. But he didn't, because every time he played Tom Brady in the playoffs, he lost.
Yeah.
So that's why I rooted for Patrick Mahomes in the beginning of his career. And then he became the Chiefs dynasty. And then when you root for Patrick Mahomes, people hate on you. And then you just, whatever. So I root for Patrick Mahomes, but from afar. It's the same thing for me with Jalen Hurts. I root for the Eagles, but from afar, because I grew up with a bunch of Eagles fans and also seeing Jalen Hurts play well in not just one Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls. You got to respect the guy for what he can do. Mm-hmm. Now, what he is doing is pissing everybody off, is making everybody mad, because he's still winning, but it's not him that's winning. It's the defense that's winning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, the Eagles know how to win games. Yeah, not because of Jalen Hurts. The Lions should have won that game. Mm-hmm. Now, if everything was all ifs and buts, we'd all be made of nuts. I get it. I don't care if my mom had a wheel, should be a wheelchair. I get it. I understand that. But when it comes to the playoffs and the Eagles lose, like if we were to lose this game, we're going to hear a bunch of if, ands, or buts from Eagles fans. And to me, that's okay. It's because there's some Eagles fans that understand that, like, hey, we're the top of the NFC. You know, we're number one in our division. We're 8-2, 7-1 in the conference, 2-1 in the division, on a 4-game winning streak, 4-1 away, 4-1 home. It doesn't matter where you play. Realistically, you can win wherever, or lose wherever. However, in the playoffs, it's not going to look good for you when it's go win or go home. And yeah, I understand in the playoffs it's like win or go home. Yeah, but the other team's going to be like that. Yeah, you're getting the best teams now, but also some of these teams are injured. You know what the Rams did to win their Super Bowl, brother? We brought back OBJ. We signed OBJ late. We signed fucking the safety from the Chargers. He played in the backfield. He was injured and he played. I forget your name, brother. But we signed so many old heads in later in the year to get this team to be complete. That's what everyone does in the playoffs. So yeah, you're beating them now, but when they're more complete or maybe even healthier in the playoffs or more prepared or more fine-tuned or better coached the second time around, the chances of the Eagles losing in that game is higher because of the struggles that they have. And that sucks because, like, I root for the Eagles when it's like they play good and, like, I watch them play and I can't help but root for them. Growing up in PA, being a bunch around an Eagles fan, having a friend of ours that's a mutual friend of ours that's an Eagles fan who doesn't really watch football, but when they win, she talks shit, which is like, did you even watch the game? Did you even watch the game? Either way.
No, but they won.
So it's important. And Cowboys fans are the same, though. Let's be honest. Cowboys fans are arrogant as fuck, thinking that they're always going to win. The Cowboys are the Cowboys, blah, blah. And what's crazy is...
They should.
Obviously, right? Because the Cowboys from 90 years ago, we get mad at the Cowboys fans for talking about teams 90 years ago. And we can't get mad about Eagles talking about a Super Bowl last season. We can't get mad. We cannot get mad. Because the Chiefs fans were yapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they went back to back, this whole last season was the Chiefs are gonna win it again. The Chiefs, and now the Eagles are doing it. People are mad. I get it because Eagles fans are arrogant and Cowboys fans are arrogant. Northeast, baby, suck it. What do you want? Dallas has to win this game. I have Dallas +3.
Heard.
Dallas has to win this game +3, and I'm only doing that because I just went on a rant about the Eagles and all their struggles and how much I still enjoy being a fan of them. I'm a fan of teams. Don't get me wrong. I have one team, but I'm a fan of certain teams. I support other teams. Eagles is definitely one of them, but I just can't get behind Jalen Hurts in this offense this year. And it's not even just Jalen Hurts; it's the offensive line. You lose your center and your right tackle. Best right tackle in the league and your starting center that replaced Jason Kelce. You lose both of those guys. Gone. Dallas Cowboys just got Quentin Williams, and they're getting after the quarterback, and they're stopping the run. What you have shown to me on tape is that you can't run the ball, and you can barely throw it. The Cowboys have shown me which way you want it.
Who wants the ball? Anybody want it?
Which way you want. Now, they lose games because of their defense, but that offense is probably going to be the reason why they win this game because they don't have to necessarily worry about their defense. Like, when the Cowboys played the Raiders, everyone said the Raiders' offense doesn't move like that, so the Cowboys are going to blow them out. Guess what? They blew them out. The Eagles' offense doesn't move like that.
Before we move on, what is your take on the Jordan Pickens and CeeDee Lamb news from the Raiders game when they got getting benched? Yeah,
they got sat for the search. They got sat for the first series because they were at Vegas gambling. What do I think about that, dude? I'm gonna show you this clip. Oh. There was this moment. Here's what I think about it. I'll put it in the video. Here's this moment. Dak Prescott. Yeah, George Pickens scored a touchdown and like hugged the flag, the pole. like jumped over and kind of like, was a bit too much on the celebratory touchdown. And Dak Prescott, and he got a flag for it. Dak Prescott goes up to George Pickens and says, "Who gives a fuck?" That's what I think about them being sat down for a series. Who gives a fuck? Because when those boys play, they play. And let me ask you something. If you are the Cowboys to go play the Raiders, knowing what you know as your team, having Dak Prescott, who was considered an MVP quarterback in the beginning of this year, don't forget.
Yeah.
And you're going to go play the Boo-Boo Raiders. Sorry, the Boo-Boo Raiders at Vegas. They don't need me for a drive. Fuck yeah, I'll make some money. And he also said, don't leave. They also said you can't leave the table while it's hot. So they were making money, and they sat down for a series. And as soon as they got in the game, especially George Pickens is going to change CeeDee Lamb. Look out. And we were already seeing it because they were both at the casino. CeeDee Lamb would have been at the casino before. He'd be with Dak Prescott. But George Pickens being that dog.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something now. They're not going to the casino this week. They're not going to be benched this week. They're not going to miss a series this week. They are going to be locked and loaded for this game. So what do I think? I don't care. It's not the worst thing that NFL players have done. There's been way more situations that players have done. If I'm being honest with you, we should have talked about Keon Coleman not playing last night because he has missed so many things, whether it be practices, meetings, watching film, whatever it is that he's not doing, that he can't actually play the game of football for 2 weeks straight. You need to get yourself together, Keon Coleman. Not worried about George Pickens and CeeDee Lambs. You're in Vegas. What are you going to do? You still beat the fucking Raiders. If they lost, it'd be a bigger discussion, but they won. So
right, shit all over them.
And they both got a touchdown.
Not only both got a touchdown, George Pickens caught the ball and walked it into the end zone. Said, "Excuse me, Raiders defenders, getting out of his way."
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yo,
I'm about a celebrity.
And I'm telling you, George Pickens is changing that off. Dude, he's changing Dak Prescott too. When I saw Dak Prescott going, "Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?" I'm gonna play it for you. I'll send it to you later. But
I can't wait.
And when he said that after George Pickens' touchdown, I'm like, dude, I was seeing
this is Goofy Goober.
I'm scared. I'm scared of Dak Prescott right now. You know what I mean? All right. So one of the biggest games of this week, for sure, for necessarily the Cowboys, not necessarily the Eagles. If the Eagles lose, is there any concern for you for the Eagles going into the playoffs?
No, not really. I mean, this is obviously a big game, but I think the Cowboys, like you're saying here, I picked the Cowboys now as well. You convinced me. I think they just want it. The Eagles obviously want it too, but the Eagles kind of play a little bit nonchalant sometimes. If you have, like, again, you imagine having LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, just sort of like a basketball analogy, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant all on the same team, and you're benching those 5 players.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing out of the Eagles.
Yeah.
You have an incredible receiver, an incredible running back, another incredible receiver. Somehow, at the end of the game, look at the stat sheet. Touchdown. Who do you see the touchdown line every single time? Jalen Hurts, the quarterback. There is no love for the rest of the offense.
Yeah. I agree.
And what ends up happening? You hear whispers, players talking to each other. AJ Brown goes to the rest of the team. Yo, fuck him. He's not giving us the ball. He's not doing this. It's all about him. It's all about him. And Jalen Hurts probably not even denying it. He's probably like, "Hey man, it is what it is.
We won, didn't
I'll be here next year.
Yeah.
We won, didn't we? I'll be here next year. I don't care if you are."
It is so becoming very selfish of him.
Yeah. I think this is a game that the Eagles, like you said, was kind of similar to what you were saying. The Eagles are going to give up because they're going into a little bit too confident. And Jalen Hurts is going to be reminded this is what happens when you don't include the rest of your offense in plays.
It's definitely going to be. And I think that the offensive coordinator is a bit conservative there too, where they don't, Like when you're 4th-and-1 and all you can, if it's 4th-and-3 or what was it? It was like 4th-and-3, and you're willing to tush push to get 3 yards. Are you out of your mind?
Listen, the tipping point this season, and we talked about this before, was when they ran those 4 tush pushes in a row for a touchdown.
Yeah.
From the 6-yard line.
Yeah.
Tush push. Yeah. Saquon Barkley, no love. AJ Brown, no love. Devontae Smith, no love. Imagine being on that team and you're being told, we're not gonna run this one in. We're gonna do tush push. Like, okay, we'll get a couple yards, sure. Run it again. Okay, sure. Run it again. Coach, if you hand me the ball, I can just run it those 2 yards for the team. No.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts only has 16 touchdowns this year. He needs 20.
Yeah. It's definitely questionable, and it definitely sucks because you're right. If it's not Saquon breaking it for a long run, he's not going to get a touchdown in the red zone, and that sucks. All right, so going in after that, I mean, that's a whole video of it on its own, honestly. But yeah, Eagles, Dallas. Got Dallas covering +3, over under 47.5. I think Dallas is going to pull off this win, especially at AT&T Stadium as well. You know what I mean? It's also at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, in Jerry's World. Last game for the 4 o'clock game before we head into Sunday night. Falcons at Saints. Michael Penix out for the season with a ACL injury. That sucks. He was playing, I think, great to the point of getting into that flow state that we talked about earlier. I think he was close to getting into that flow state this year, and with a couple more games, he'll definitely be ready for next year and be that dude next year. He has some flashes, way more flashes than some of these inconsistent quarterbacks that we've seen now, besides Drake May. Jaden Daniels obviously being injured is tough because we haven't seen him play. And his team isn't the same team as last year, obviously. Bo Nix is playing way better than he did play last year. We see Caleb on the rise. We see Drake May in the MVP conversation. And Michael Penix, he's definitely one of those guys that can be there. But if you look at the difference between the guys I just said, those 3 guys started last year. Michael Penix is starting this year and got some reps in the late window last season. So that sucks. That hurts to see. I am a Raheem Mostert fan because I'm a Rams fan, baby. He got us to the Super Bowl with that defense. He was with us for a while. They were not interviewing him for a while. So I got to root for Atlanta in this one. Kirk Cousins, paying you $100 million, go do something. I don't think the Saints have any sense of a team, and I think the Saints are the worst team in football. Because of the lack of necessarily players, but also first-year head coach and Kellen Moore, maybe a couple years ago, but now I don't see it. His offense does make plays, but as a head coach, you need to be more than just a play caller.
Yeah, Falcons in a rough spot here. They're coming off of a win, or sorry, not even a win, a loss. Again, they should have won. They were up 21-10, I think, at one point against the Panthers, and ended up losing to Bryce Young, who averages, I think, 80 yards a game, and all of a sudden threw for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't know. I'm on the Falcons here as well to cover that 2.5-point spread. The Saints are easily the worst team in the NFL right now. Tyler Shaw, no disrespect to him. Again, we want to see young quarterbacks succeed. Of
course.
I just don't see him doing well in this game.
Yeah.
John Robinson's going to run all over them, do whatever he wants to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 touchdowns, probably easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. People aren't thinking about that. Michael Penix being out. Bijan Robinson's definitely going to get that load more. I think they definitely try to throw it more in that game because they were losing momentum in that game. And Kirk Cousins had to warm up his arm,
True. And I think that he'll be ready for it. He had this whole week to practice with the offense. I think they're in a good spot here. I want the Saints to do well. No disrespect to the Saints.
No disrespect.
But I don't think they can. They're not going to win this game, especially not by 2.5. There's no chance of that. I think the Falcons are going to win this game outright. I would even pick the money line before I pick the 2.5-point spread.
True. I would probably take the money line. Yeah, I probably would take the Falcons money line over the spread. The odds are probably better. Just on a quick note, because David did touch about that. Just because we picked against your team doesn't mean we don't think your team is good. But we'll take the hate. You know what I mean? Show it to us on the film. My team is the Rams. David, I don't know if he'll officially pick his team. Maybe we'll wait to the end of the year till he picks his team.
No, it's official.
Oh, he's officially picked his team. So what's your team?
The Texans.
Texans are David's team. I am a massive Rams fan. Again, David started watching football faithfully this year. I've put football into my friends' lives since I've met them, but faithfully this year they've gotten into football and they actually enjoy it, so it's kind of cool. Good to see you have a team, especially over the win over the Bills. Definitely hard to solidify. Now you have to be a ride or die.
Of course, I mean they're 6-5. Let me tell you this right now.
Go ahead.
My mortal for the rest of the season, they're winning the rest of their games. So I'm losing again this year.
Okay, he's a true fan. All right. So as we're saying, we're true fans as well of our teams. I think the Rams should win the Super Bowl this year. I think the Rams are better than the Eagles. We had 2 blocked field goals to lose that game. We are definitely the best team in the NFC. But yeah, I did say the Saints are the worst team in the division. In the league, and that's just record-wise. I don't think talent. Yeah. I don't think any of the players or talent necessarily has to do as much as heavily as coaching does, as environment does, as momentum, as like on a football team. Because I've been on a crappy football team, and the next year, like my junior year in high school, we went 1-9, and my senior year we went 9-1. What changed that year? Coaching. Was not the players, was not none of this, and the school was notorious for being bad. Coaching changed that team around. As a Rams fan, we had Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Ryan Reynolds, not Justin Jefferson, why am I saying that? But we had a lot of guys. Tyler Higbee, young, with Jeff Fisher. We were trash. Sean McVay comes in, same roster. We win 10 games next year. We're considered one of the best offenses in the league. Why? Coaching. So we're not trying to necessarily say that your team is bad because of the players or talent or necessarily just because of coaching. It's just there's a lot of factors that go into it. And we just think this week you will not win. Next week, who knows? Next season, who knows?
They've won. Listen, their 2 wins have been some pretty significant wins for them. And for those who are wondering, like, why not the Titans? Why the Titans not the worst in the league? They have the worst record. Like Adrian just said, it goes down to multiple factors: the coaching, the quarterback, the defense, the offense. Obviously, the Titans move the ball. The Saints don't move the ball. Tyler Shaw, again, no love, no disrespect to him. We have all love for him, want him to succeed. But the Saints don't move the ball. So if you can't move the ball, you can't score points. You can't win games.
Also, look at the Titans. They didn't just hire. They don't have a new head coach. They just fired their head coach. You guys hired your new head coach, and you only have 2 wins. It wasn't a build-it year for you guys. Hello. You guys had Derek Carr. Yeah, he retired, but you had faith in Spencer Rattler. That's why you drafted him. That's why Kellen Moore took the job and also drafted Tyler Shook because they thought he was going to be good. So it's not just like the reason why, record-wise, they're not the worst. But expectations coming into this year, I mean, as a Saints fan, you have to be somewhat very disappointed. Very disappointed. Yeah. And they already got Rashid Rice out of there. Thank God they didn't get rid of Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is my favorite Saint of all time. I've been watching him play since he's been in the league. Definitely one of the best running backs, underrated running backs in the league for sure. But coming in this year, guys, I just have to say, the Saints hired the new head coach to be better this year, to have a better year than last year, and then to not only have a worse year than last year and also get rid of some of your guys. That definitely wasn't the expectation going into the season for the Saints. So that's why I think this year, currently, they're the worst team in the NFL. All right, so we both got the Falcons. Also, the Falcons' defense is no joke. I don't know why the sports books has doubting defenses like we saw last night. They had the Bills favored, but the Texans' defense won that game. They have the Saints favored, and I understand why, because the Saints do have a little bit of ooh and ah on offense, but that Falcons' defense, what are we talking about here? That's no joke. All right, last game for Sunday. And we'll do Monday night another time. But last game for Sunday. Sunday night football. Rams.
It's not your game of the week.
Bucks. No.
No, I don't think so because we just beat Seattle. I think Seattle's way harder than Tampa, and I think unless they have Bucking Irving back, I'm not too worried about it. And also, I don't think Tampa Bay's defense is as good as Seattle's defense. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout. It could probably be as a close game because I think, Baker could potentially. But the thing is, that's the thing, though. Like, I'm not too worried about it because if we can stop Seattle's high-power offense, I think we can stop Buccaneers defense. But
not only stop it, just four interceptions?
Yeah, it was 4 interceptions. Not that many sacks, but a lot of QB pressures. And I think this week we'll get some more sacks. I'm not going to talk too much about this game because I think we're going to win, and I'm not worried about it. Also, the spread is -7, so I'll let you go ahead and take care of this one for us.
Yeah, I have the Rams winning this game, -7, covering the spread as well. The Buccaneers, obviously a good team. Baker Mayfield, obviously a great quarterback. I just feel like you said, if the Rams defense can shut down Sam Darnold, got him seeing double out there, colorblind, doesn't know who to throw it to. 4 picks is an insane amount, a crazy number. And this is a quarterback who's scoring 35 points, 38 points in the first half of games. The Rams are a first half and a second half team. I think that's what matters here. Defense is solid, and they are just like fundamentally sound. They're a team that's very fun to watch because they're not going to make a lot of mistakes. At the end of the day, they will force their opponents or watch their opponents make mistakes, and that's enough for them to win the game. The Buccaneers here, Baker Mayfield will scramble. He will fight his heart out. He'll go for those rushing touchdowns. He'll make sure his team has the best chance of winning, but he can put up 40 points. The Rams will put up 41 every time.
So are you going to take the spread or the money line?
I'm taking the spread. 7 points.
You think they can do something? You think they can cover?
I think they can cover. I think that this is like one of those like trap spreads where everyone's like, I don't think the Buccaneers are going to lose by 7. They'll keep it really close, like within 3. No, I think the Rams will just win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing for this week is we have an MVP at quarterback who's actually number 1 for the NFL, for odds favorite in DraftKings Sportsbook. Shout out DraftKings for the MVP favorite. So to me, that's enough that says to me about what we're going into this week, what type of defense we're facing this week. Also, our defense is getting better and better every week. And the fact that you saw Emmanuel Forbes, who got beat by Rashid Rice, jump in the air and tap that ball out of his hands for that touchdown, saving the touchdown, saving the Rams from that play. The boys are playing. They have confidence. After a 4-pick game, they're looking for more. They're going to be hungry. And the cornerback's getting picks and the defensive lineman not getting sacks. That's going to change. There's going to be way more sacks this week. Watch out for Byron Young on the edge. You got Brandon Fisk handling it down the middle. We got Puna Ford to stop us in the run. Our defense, our team is stacked. Devontae Adams finding that 1 catch for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. So don't forget about him. That's kind of the thing where, like, I saw he was this week on Fitz and Wits podcast that he talked about how it's different being in LA. But he also talked about that the wide receiver room gets treated like grown men because they act like it. And that, to me, is very encouraging going into the late window of this season. All right, those are our picks for this week. Any mortals that you have? Now, I know we went through the picks, and we necessarily picked each game, who we think was going to win. We're not necessarily going to bet each spread, guys. I want you to know that. We're just picking the spreads that we're going to think that the teams are going to win. Will we bet some of these spreads? Most likely. All of them? Not really, because some of them, like, what are we talking about? But we were just saying, if we were to bet, this is what we would bet for this game. Do we put our money where our mouth is? A lot. Yes, trust us, a lot. But if you had to put in a mortal for this week, so saying all that, not but, however, no. So saying all that, what would be your mortal for this week that you feel the most confident pick going into this week?
The most confident pick by far, not even close, is the Jets to cover that 13.5 points against the Ravens. The Ravens, and I was able to just confirm, so I wanted to make sure, the Ravens are ranked number 28 in red zone conversion rate. Out of the 10 trips they make to the red zone, they score 4 times. And you're telling me that they're going to win by 2 touchdowns? against a team that has the top 3 red zone defenses in the NFL. The numbers are just not adding up. I don't see the Ravens winning by more than a touchdown here. The Jets could outright win this game. I do not understand why the Ravens are such a strong favorite. I don't get it. I don't know. That's my mortal. And if it falls through, if I fail, that's my first mortal loss of the season.
That's true. And we're starting on week 12, so it's pretty good for us.
Yeah, let me just say that. Last week, I picked the Bears last week. I picked the Bears the week before that, and they covered both times.
That is true. He is on a Bears win streak. However, he parlays those, so those parlays didn't hit, but that pick hit, and that's all that matters.
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. On the parlay, 1 out of 5 hit, and it was always the Bears. Okay. I think. Okay, see, now you saying that persuades me off of the Jets. I'm not going to lie. You having so much confidence in them scares me. Just scares me because I've also seen Lamar Jackson play.
Yeah.
And he plays. And the question is, like, who's he going to throw it to? Yeah, that is a good question. Who's going to get the touchdown? I don't know. But... Okay, that is your mortal. That's your mortal. That's your mortal. That's not changing my picks. That's not changing my picks. That's your mortal. I might change it offline, but for the sake of the show, I'm still sticking with the Jets to cover.
Walk me through your immortal so I can shit all over it.
No, I'm not shitting all over immortal. It's just like, what are we talking? It's crazy that the Jets are immortal. It's just crazy to me that the Jets are immortal. That's it. My mortal going into week 12, I think a lot of teams. I have probably bet on this team with the most amount of money I've bet on this team. And they did not deliver when I bet on this team last time. For the most money I've probably ever put on a bet, which was $25 for reference. And I'm going to pick them again because I think they're legit. Even though they didn't win and I cashed out at 25.02 to make sure I got my money back, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars -3 against Arizona.
I respect it. Listen, I'm sticking with the Cardinals +3, but if it hits for you, that means that your mortal hit. Yeah. So I'll have to respect it. But if it doesn't hit, I'll never let you forget that.
I will never let you. If the Jets get shit on next week, next week's gonna be all about how you are dumb and I'm the smartest man in the world. What are we talking about?
Right.
But if the Jets win, I'm gonna have to kiss the ring. Like what? Like what is going on? If the Jets somehow pull off a win, that would be very. I mean, not just pull off. I mean, cover. But I think the Jets
cover 13.5.
Yeah, dude, they'll cover it. That's true. Oh, it's 13.5. Why did I think it was 3.5? I'm so dumb.
No.
I thought you said 3.5. Never mind. Yeah, of course the Jets are gonna cover 13.5. I thought you said 3.5. That's why I was like 3.5. That's crazy. 13.5. I'm not. Never mind. Again, I take everything I said back.
If Vegas is so convinced that Ravens are going to win by 2 touchdowns, if you're looking for an easy bet this week, bet on the Ravens touchdowns. Who's going to score those touchdowns? Yeah. Mark Andrews will be one of them.
You just got I would think the best one is to put a prop bet on Mark Andrews. I think that's your best bet. The other ones, I have no clue. You can do a bet Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews one there. I can see that happening, or Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry. Those would be my touchdown parlay for that game. But yeah, I apologize. I thought you said 3.5, and that's why I was like, what are you talking about? You're so confident that I thought you got so confident that you moved it to 3.5. That's why I was like, what are you talking about? 13.5. Then yeah, of course. Listen, and if you guys want to parlay those mortals, like we might, you might win big, you know? We put 10. We also have a ladder system that we tried that failed. Not failed, but it was tough from doubling your money and then getting it to a certain point, and then you're not even touching any of that money that you doubled all the way up there, and you're like, I should have got a cut of that, you know?
I'm betting 40 to turn into 80 on fucking JT to get 50 rushing yards, and he's held to 30.
Yeah, and but you started from 5, made that 5 into 10, made that 10 into 20, turned that 20 into 40, and then from 40 to 80, you lose all your money. Yeah, it was rough. I might get back into it. We'll see. But that is it. That's my mortal. That's your mortal. Anything else to say?
I'm curious, before we head out here, who, like, looking at these games here, besides the Jets, who is your, like, underdog? Like, it surprises you that they're the underdog for the game. Look at him. I got him frozen, y'all. I don't know what to do.
Browns.
Yeah. Why are the Raiders favored to win that game? I don't know.
Oh my god, dude, I'm having the most insane deja vu in my life. Do you know why?
What is that?
Last year you asked me this question, and it was the same thing. No.
Really?
Who asked me this question? I got asked this question last year, or I had something. But I remember I picked the Browns last year to be a favorite, and they're the underdogs. And I was like, why are the Browns the underdogs? And why am I choosing the Browns? But I was stunned, and I have to pick the Browns. I think the sorry. Fuck that. The Falcons.
That too. It was between those two for me as well.
Falcons. Yeah. The Falcons. I was looking at the favorites, and I'm like, the Saints -2.5, I guess. But then I saw who the Saints were playing, and I was like, actually, yeah. The fact that the Falcons are not favorited this week is very concerning, but also could be a lot of Kirk Cousins hate.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of that Kirk Cousins hate, but I have faith in Bijan Robinson to cover. Who do you have?
I have the Falcons money line. I think that the biggest underdog, like, or the most surprising, is easily the Falcons. I don't understand why people don't think they're going to win this game.
All right, let me give you a new segment for this week. Segment for the week. Biggest underdog this week. Why is it not the Colts?
That's a good question, too. I think that the Chiefs are a team that can play well. They can score touchdowns. I think that's the biggest surprise, or the reason why, is because the Saints don't really score touchdowns like that. The Saints don't really keep games close. The Chiefs at least keep games close. Even against the Broncos, an amazing offense, the Chiefs were within one touchdown.
Yeah.
So the Colts, like, it's surprising, but you tell me the Falcons, a team that has an amazing run game, a very, very solid defense, they can't keep up with the Saints?
Yeah, but it's interesting to me that the Saints and the Falcons spread is closer than the Colts and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not crazy?
It is pretty crazy.
Like, you have 3.5 for the Colts and Chiefs, and yet for the Falcons and the Saints, you have 2.5. Like, you think the Falcons Saints game is going to be closer than the Chiefs Colts game? I think the Colts are going to win that game. Sure. Like, also, you have the number 3 ranked AFC conference division in the conference team going against the number 9, not even in the playoffs. And you have
5-5. Yeah.
5-5. Let me see. They're 4-1 home though. Ooh. They have a good record home. Hold on. This is an interesting stat right here. The Chiefs are 4-1 home and 1-4 away.
Yeah.
Away. And that one loss home, guess who? Broncos.
I wonder what let me see if I can find the Colts away record real quick. That's going to be important.
They're 2-2 away.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. 500 away. I think they're going to win this game. I'm sticking with that. I have no intention of changing it. All love to the Chiefs, but they've had some rough games.
So Colts are not the biggest underdog, you think? You still ride with the Falcons?
I still ride with the Falcons.
Yeah, they're kind of disrespecting the Falcons. I'm not going to lie. All right, biggest overachiever this week. Who you think is going to do the best this week going into week 12?
Team that'll do the best will most likely be the Seahawks. I mean, the Titans don't put up any type of competition against any team ever. This is legitimately a tune-up game. This is the, hey, get ready for the playoffs type of game. We know you just lost to the Rams, an amazing team. Get your confidence back, get back in stride, bounce back, and continue your season. The Titans are just there to get shit on.
I agree. For me, it would have to be my biggest overachievers. I think the Patriots are going to freaking run over the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Patriots. I think we're not giving enough credit also to Josh McDaniels. I think people are forgetting that it's not just Drake May, it's not just Mark Rabel, also the guy who won Super Bowls with the greatest quarterback of all time, who coached one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and who's actually one of the nice guys, not the mean guy Bill Belichick, but a nice guy who's like, Tommy, what do you want to do? You want to throw it to Gronk?
Shout out North Carolina.
Shout out.
1-20 for the season. Shout out NC, baby.
He's mean for that. They definitely won like 3 games, but we get what you're saying. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this week's Bench Sports. Adrian on the right, David there on the left. Tune into next week. We'll try and start doing these. This was a lot of fun. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it's great. I have so much fun. I have a parlay right now, 20 legs for $13 million, so I'm feeling really good.
And there you go. And with that, hopefully that hits, and we'll be in studio next week. See you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.